The Houston Texans, in what may be one of the most shocking trades we'll see in a while, have traded DeAndre Hopkins and a 4th-round pick to the Arizona Cardinals for David Johnson, a 2nd-round pick, and a 4th-round pick. Hopkins is a guy I'd consider a top 3 wideout in the league, and a guy who currently, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the only wideouts, if not the only elite wideout in the league, that has proven to be quarterback proof. That meaning it doesn't matter who's back there, he's gonna get you yards, he's gonna make a difference out there, something even the best of the best struggle to do with a lot. This guy put up 1,500 yards with Brian Hoyer at quarterback. This guy put up 1,300 yards with half a season of Tom Savage. There's nobody that compares to what DeAndre Hopkins has done since he's entered the league. He's also a guy that's missed all of 2 games his entire career, so he's been very durable out there. Then you look at David Johnson, speaking of injuries, a man that had an injury-plagued 2019, he missed the entire season in 2017, and let's face it, since Carson Palmer and Bruce Arians have left the Arizona Cardinals, he hasn't been the same. His receiving yards have been virtually slashed in half. He's averaged 3.6 yards per carry since then, and as far as I'm concerned, again, just throwing out the hot takes today, Drake and Edmonds were better than him last season on that team. He was the 3rd best running back on the Arizona Cardinals last season. Again, I love David Johnson. I'm a big David Johnson fan. I'm not trying to bash him. I wish this guy nothing but the best. I hope he runs for 1,500 yards next season, has 800 receiving yards. I'd love to see it happen. But from a trade perspective, this guy's trade value could not be any lower than it is right now. And you gave up one of the very best wide receivers in the league for him. I mean, let's not forget this guy's 28. He's going to be 29 at the end of the season. Another thing, 29, how long do running backs typically last when they get over the age of 30, and how many of them stay and play at an elite level? It's rare. So again, you factor that in from a running back standpoint. It's just not making sense to me for the Houston Texans. I mean, you look at Watson, he's one of the younger quarterbacks in the league with one of the brightest futures in the league. When he has all of his weapons healthy, that's at you, Will Fuller. And when Bill O'Brien finally gets fired, can we actually slide that in? Probably not. Watson absolutely picks teams apart. He has the ability to do that in a passing game. He's a great quarterback. So why would you take away his biggest weapon on the field and replace him with a David Johnson? And let's not forget what Carlos Hyde did last season. He can't receive. He's not a receiving back. He hasn't been his entire career. It's fairly easy to replace those guys, though, that, or get those 3rd down backs in the league. But the argument again lays there that he had the better season again than David Johnson. I don't get it. I do not get why you would get rid of DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson and a 2nd-round pick. What are you going to do with that 2nd-round pick? Draft another wide receiver to replace Hopkins? Like, I heard the rumors, that was part of it. Oh, they want to improve their draft pick depth. They didn't. They gained 1 2nd-round pick, and the 4th-round picks cancel out. So they essentially got David Johnson and a 2nd-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. If you're going to trade Hopkins, I don't think you can settle for anything less than a 1st. A 1st and a 2nd, a 1st and a 3rd, whatever it's got to be. But to give up DeAndre Hopkins, I don't care what the contract is, you throw the man the money that he wants, whatever the situation is, he's too big of a piece of this offense to go out there and say, we can replace him down the road, and as long as we build that, the farm system up, we'll be fine. The Texans are going to find out the hard way this year exactly what life's going to be like with DeAndre Hopkins not on their team, and it's been a very long time since they've had to deal with that. Good for Arizona, though. Arizona picking up a stud and a half. They've proven that they can run the ball without David Johnson. This team just got a heck of a lot better. Kyler Murray takes them steps. Arizona's defense steps up. Who knows what Arizona's got in hand this next season. So good on them.